It all started on a chilly January morning with a GPS in hand and a goal in mind. Through the pouring rain and flashes of lightning, they pushed forward, determined not to quit. On the final day, standing atop a snowy hill, they found their last cache and felt the weight of accomplishment. Back home, the coin took its place, a reminder of every challenge and every victory.
All right. We'll bring everybody in a minute, but I wanted to show you the coin that's available. And what's cool about it is that it's, of course, it's flip around. Stained glass. Isn't that cool? Love it. So we started with 50. We're down to 9. So if you want one, you might want to pop out and get one at the Geocache Talk shop, Etsy.com. And I want to also tonight thank our patrons, especially our new patrons, Super Chuckles and returning patron Caching Karma, and our featured patrons. These are going to be people from the states and countries that start with the letter F as in Frank. And they're Holo Yossi, the Mad Finn from Finland, Velena, Danielle, Nicole, Lori, Dean, Gary, Mary Lee, and Phil. So thank you to all our patrons for keeping this show and all our shows on the air. So again, thank you so much, and get you a coin. geocachetalkshop.etsy.com. Well, let's bring in the crew. So there is John and Jesse.
Howdy.
Hey.
Co-host. And let's bring in our special guest for tonight is Troop Biz.
Oh, that guy.
Hey, Mark.
What's up? Long time no see.
It's been a while, man.
Love having Mark on. So interesting.
He's getting the fever like some of the other ones have. He's going to be hosting a mega every 3 to 6 months now. Just watch.
Yeah. Every 3 to 6 months. I love that idea.
Amazing.
I think for my parents' sake, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
No, breaking news. Only one a year. Okay. All right. That's sort of breaking news. What you heard it here. You heard it here first on the show. So, thanks for spilling those beans, Mark. That's really good. All right. Before we get into Cachemore, which I'm very excited about, we are going to talk a little twig, which is this week in geocaching. And I'll go first. Mine's pretty short. John's got a lot more than I do, and I don't know, Jesse's isn't too bad either, but we'll go like that. I'll go first. So my first one is that this past week I did get to test CarPlay with limited success. Let's put it that way. This is prior to the last update that came out. So I think it's going to be better now. I think John had better success with it than I did. But we had good success, but it was limited. I think it's going to be better with the different updates. The last update, I think, I haven't tested it since then. Jesse, you might have tested after the 5.1.2. Okay, I'll let you talk about that during your time in Twig. And then my other one is this coming Saturday is another Motley Caching Crew Day with my team, and we do that three or four times a year. We try to do it 4, but sometimes we can't always get away as a group for more than 3, but we try to do at least 3, and it's always fun. It's always fun to get with people that we're all in different towns, but we're in the general vicinity of the area. So everybody from different towns coming together, and we meet at Buc-ee's in Royce City, and we head out and have a great time. So pressure's on for me again. I usually always come up with the list of caches for the group, and I've had mostly good success. So looking forward to another one of those. So all right, John, you want to go next, or I guess Jesse? Either way,
mine's shorter. John's got a bunch. I've only got a little bit.
Okay.
I did get to get out and test Cachely again.
Cool.
It's going to be a lot for me about finding the right style for it. So when I went out with a very specific target this weekend. So I had 10 caches I was going for, and it was all over Tampa. So it took me about 6 hours to get to all of those 10 caches. So it's very specific. So I had to, the route, turn-by-turn directions were kind of going through the Apple Maps. But as I was going, and I'd have that in a little small section, I was able to drive through and see what was in town around me. Now, this style of caching, didn't really do much because I wasn't going for any of those. And actually, it was almost torture to see all these caches I was driving by to go to just the ones that I wanted. But I had a limited time, and I had to go a long way, like get up before sunrise, get going, and everything else to get this list done. Like somebody else said, I almost got an FTF. Yeah, Phil said that. I almost got an FTF. I was driving by randomly, going to my next location, and I got a new one on there. I did a little digging for it or whatever. Turns out it was not one I wanted to stop for because it was like hidden by a new cacher, and there was like 8 people that said it's not there, it's never been found. I was like, okay, I'm gonna move on. But I can see how that's going to be beneficial in the future when one pops up that that you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
And there was a few others that popped up, like challenges and stuff like that, and you can hit the list and see what it's about. Although I'm going to have to be careful with that because distracted driving and
That's true.
But I want to go out on a day and test it again when I'm not going for like a very specific cache and just see around and kind of cache that way. So I haven't got to really do that style yet, but I think that's where it'll be beneficial. And I'm sure we'll find other things too. Like if you're just going for certain type of caches or whatever, and you got them all filtered out, that's all you'll see. So that'll be kind of fun. So the 10 caches I was going for was just 10 earth caches. No reason randomly for any upcoming show or anything. But
no reason.
10
no
random
reason at all.
caches that I picked
Why
up
would you do
now.
that?
And guess what? Bingo, I got it. So we'll move on. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wasn't even gonna bring that up. You did. Then
Wonder why.
and I got my 2 published. And I'm trying to get a Earth Cache public find an Earth Cache that's just been published this year, but there's not one in my state yet, other than the 2 I did. So I'm like, oh come on guys. And I've got like one of the most prolific, the top 10 prolific guys here, and he hadn't done one yet this year. No, he did like 8 million last year, and I'm sure he's going to do 8 million this year, but he just hadn't put one out yet. So I got the ones that I wanted that satisfied the squares that I needed or whatever. And other than that and publishing 2, that was all my caching this week. Everything else was behind the scenes, and I got an event coming up, so got to not forget that. We're starting a brand new monthly event, and it's monthly, and it hadn't been going yet, so I got to remember that it's going. Oh, yeah, Earth Cache Bingo. That's a thing? I've never heard of that. I've just randomly finding Earth Caches this weekend. I don't know what you're talking about.
It could be one of the coolest things this week.
I do know that there's a hidden. Well, we're all trying to get the Earth Cache Bingo, by the way, Mark. I don't know if you're familiar with this Earth Cache Bingo thing yet, but there's a little hidden competition going on that inside of our group that is sort of they're trying to be subtle about it, but they're not really very subtle because Dawn, our production manager,
that's what everybody says about me. Subtle,
yeah, is she's done 20, so she's not hiding the fact.
You retired people don't count. That does not count. Y'all, you don't get to compete on the same level playing
That's
field.
Dawn. That's not me. She's doing
that's
that.
That's not fair.
Yeah. So the production manager, and she's always kind of looking for that. So it's funny because the people in our group that are the most
they're working on some publishing. So okay.
Yeah,
that's gonna.
They're working on some. There you go. So,
but that was all my caching this week. So I'll flip it over to John because he has a big old long list. He actually was busy this week.
And real quick, and before John goes, is Brad is on the left side of the couch, Jen's on the other side, and he wanted to tell you, Mark, that he was glad you came and hit up there, Cache Odyssey, Florida.
Yeah, I was this time last week. I was in much warmer weather. Just finished the Disney marathon. So
nice.
Congratulations.
You finished?
I finished. That's
of course.
That's all that matters. That's all you need to know.
That's all accomplishment.
Which one did you do?
Just the marathon, the full Disney marathon.
Oh, nice. Yeah, congratulations. I like that.
Yeah. Made sure to snag the Cache Odyssey before that though, so the rest of the time was just vibing.
At least you didn't have hills to deal with, really. So
100% nice and flat.
Yeah. John, tell us
All
about
right.
your week, buddy.
Oh, guys, I have plenty of things to share. So guys, we all know about Coins for Kids, right?
Mhm.
Yes, we
And
do.
and the cool thing about Coins for Kids is Coins for Kids now has a dedicated page on geocachingcentral.com. Where if you don't know geocachingcentral.com, you got to check it out. It's the mega directory of websites for all things geocaching. So if you've never been there, go there. You're going to find some really cool things. But big shout out to Nancy of the Deadliest Cachers for putting that page on there, because it is so cool. I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but if not, you got to do so. Nancy has just done an amazing job to incorporate so many different resources, including resources on where it goes too. So
What? No way.
Yeah.
Those exist still?
yeah, those exist. So yeah, just www.geocachingcentral.com. So check that out. But guys, I have some other big news. Okay. So this week in pizza news, okay, one of the members of our Geocache Talk community, we all know Nell's bloody cool. I mean, cool guy, bloody cool guy, right?
Yeah. Bloody
So he's in our pizza fans group on LilyPad Chat, which if you're not in there, you got to join that. Okay, really cool group. But Nels sends me this picture. He's in Guatemala. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like,
Nice.
number one, how cool is it that he's in Guatemala? And then I'm like, tell me about this pizza. And he says it has like a Chipotle style sauce. And I'm like, man, I don't know if it can get any cooler than that, right? In pizza news. So then what does Nels do, right? He sends this picture. He has pizza at a volcano in Guatemala.
No way.
Where he goes up there and a person makes his pizza for him, like on the volcano, using volcano heat on here to like make a pizza.
That's pretty cool.
How awesome is that? You know?
That is incredible.
Yeah. Well, on the move, five pizzas for sure, you know? So
Just rating. That's good.
yeah, so just incredible news. And I got to share this with you guys. This was one I got right before the show. B&J Bish shared with me this beautiful pickle and pepperoni pizza on there in the review, as it's delicious on here. So yeah, I know. So that was awesome. But yeah, I just got to share one thing on here. So on here, if you're not in the Pizza Fans group on LilyPad Chat, you know, you can either search for Pizza Fans or use this QR code to join it on here. But yeah, LilyPad Chat is still a thing, my friend. Yeah. Here.
No, I can't believe. No, John. No, John. No.
It's time for Pizza Talk. Whether you're at your local pizza parlor, scarfing down gas station pizza, or just a fan of the greatest pie on the planet, we've got you.
Okay, guys.
No.
You know, with Mark, because I love Mark. I know I could talk about pizza for a whole show on here, but I'll be careful, Mark. I'll be careful, my friend. I don't want to take away all your time. I got a few other things I got to tell people about, though. Is number one, I got the Hyder 2026 souvenir received. So I don't know if you guys got your Hyder 2026 souvenirs. Yeah. Nod from Jesse, nod from Mark on here. No nod from Gary. I don't see none.
Gary?
No, not yet. I haven't hit. I got
Gary.
I got something I'm working on, but I haven't hitten anything.
Don't just talk about geocaching. How to geocache.
Yeah, how did you?
Yes.
And the cool thing for me is I organized an event coming up, a coffee talk event to talk about geocaching. And once that event publishes, I got that souvenir. So, I mean, that was pretty sweet on that one. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you about a cache I found this week. It was Golden Year number 5. And we have a cacher up here in Western New York, Miss Busy Mom. A couple years ago, she turned 60. So for her 60th birthday, there were 60 hides that were put out there for her. I found Golden Year number 5. So that was pretty cool on that one. So big shout out to the Hitman for hiding that one. And, Miss Busy Mom, happy 62nd birthday on here. But thank you for that awesome series. And also on here too, I found an adventure lab, and we all know adventure labs are the future of geocaching. We all love adventure labs. I know because Mark put out an awesome one with like 600 adventure labs. So, I mean, we know he believes it, right? So on here, like Wild Bill and Jabber. Wild Bill is like organizing a cool project. It's called the the Believable Bills Adventure Lab Geo Art Project about the Buffalo Bills. So he's done it. It's at I-90 Eden Tech Stop near Buffalo. And if people want to join that, reach out to Wild Bill and Jabber. He's looking for 2 themes. The first theme can be anything Buffalo Bills related. The second thing could be any famous person named Bill. So I'm sure we all know some famous person named Bill that we could put out there too. But yeah, long live the Adventure Lab Geo Arts, right? Am I right, Mark? Am I right?
That's right.
I mean, if HQ is gonna let us play them, I'm just playing by HQ's rules, you know.
That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Do you think they'll ever pull back with all the geo arts coming out? Do you think HQ is going to say like, okay, guys, that's enough?
I think we're too late.
Yeah.
So like, will we ever have the first like 1 million labs at one place?
Ooh,
You are.
a million.
1 million.
Like, or
I feel like
whatever
you
is
have-
one more than the top finder in the world, like 250 or 300,000, 301,000, all at one location. You just sit there all day. Beep, 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 beep.
Well, that kind of like remember when you start caching like early in the day and you're like, well, somebody has 100 caches they found, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like 1,000. Like in a few years, is it like, yeah, they've only found 1 million caches. Like they're still getting used to the game, I guess.
Well, yeah, you know, like people that are playing in the future are going to go, yeah, those old guys, they used to talk about numbers all the time. And it's like totally worthless, right? They're like, what do you mean it's not about the numbers? Of course not, dummy. It's going to be funny. Back in my day, it took, a year to get 1,000 caches.
You know,
I could do it
Right.
before breakfast, Grandpa.
yeah, you just get in your driverless car and you're just like, hey, drive me to the rest stop with like 1 million,
Right.
where I can get Waffle House and get 1 million finds in a morning,
House. Love it. All right. Good deal. Are we ready to let's get into
Yeah,
the,
let's roll.
Something
Let's
real.
get-
Yeah,
let's
let's
get
get into
into
something
this.
real here.
get into this serious talk here about Cachemore. So let's pull the curtain back a little bit here, Mark, on Gigastock was incredible. We've talked about it prior to the show, but Jesse doesn't, he's a conspiracy theorist. He doesn't really doesn't know that whether it occurred or not, but John and I sort of can prove that it did occur. I know you spent a lot of time with making it happen. It was incredible. So when was, if you can share this, when was Cachemore? What was the genesis of Cachemore? Was it right before GeoWoodstock, and y'all thought, you know what, we're already gluttons for punishment. Let's just keep the punishment coming. Let's just keep that punishment rolling, man. We just want to keep it going because we're going through a lot. Let's just keep going. So when did you guys decide that you wanted to keep this going?
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, I've talked on the show before about whenever I was in my master's program, I did my dissertation on GeoWoodstock and kind of the marketing plan and kind of everything that went into that. And anyone that's ever taken an online program knows like discussion boards are going to be the bane of your existence. But one of the discussion boards was, we had to, name our project, something along those lines. So I was like, oh, it's like my project's like GeoWoodstock, and like all the other students in the class were like, that doesn't really make sense. And I was like, well, guys, sorry, I can't really change that one.
Right.
But part of GeoWoodstock, so each group, if you don't know, every group that hosts GeoWoodstock has to kind of set up their own entities, their own separate stuff, like especially for some of the legal stuff that you have to do. So I was going to go and try to register, like explore more with the idea that it's just kind of like general tourism, driving people to Morgantown. That way it's like general enough, but can be used for GeoWoodstock. And then you try to register something very generic and general like that, and you'll quickly learn everyone else has that same idea as well. So just kind of, spinning off that, kind of came up with Cachemore. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Kind of the idea of,
Sure.
bringing geocachers to an area to let them cache more. So that's kind of the genesis and kind of what we operated a lot of the Geo Woodstock behind the scenes under. And then once Geo Woodstock kind of wrapped, it's like, well, now we have the systems in place. We have all of these great tourism partners, all these state partners that are begging us to come back to Morgantown. And then, the overwhelming response from the geocaching community too, just kind of felt like a natural fit to
Sure.
see what could happen if we tried to start our own thing.
Very cool. That is awesome. Yeah.
That's how you get hooked. I'm telling you.
Yep.
That's
You
how
do.
you
You
get
get
hooked.
hooked.
They're pulling you in
think
right now.
Tom-
They just fish hooking you in.
I think John and I talked. Didn't you? I think you and I even talked about this before in Morgantown. Like, well, they can't do another Geo Woodstock for a while, but they could do another event here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make it a mega.
yeah.
And
Well,
it was like, yeah. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know like people were posting in the Geo Woodstock group like, hey, who's going to volunteer to do it next year? And I kept on being like, I hear Morgantown's a great location and has it ever been repeated, And I don't know if Mark was getting annoyed at me for making comments like that, but I was just like, man, it's like you come to a place like Morgantown. And my only complaint about it was there was so much good caching. I'm like, I got to come back,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited about Cachemore and the ability to come back and to do even more caching on that one. Because, that's a quality caching area. If you're in a town for like 5 days and you haven't cached out all the awesome caches,
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot.
And that was one of the big things we were trying to prove too with Geo Woodstock. Is that like you pass through Martinsburg or you pass through Wheeling, one of the panhandles of the state? It's like that's not West Virginia in its essence. Like come to the central part of the state, come explore the New River Gorge Park, come check out Mothman. Like all of these little things that make West Virginia so great. And really like apart from Martinsburg, geocaching in West Virginia was largely overlooked until Geo Woodstock. So, this gold mine of caching in Morgantown has been here, ever since I've been playing. But we've never really had a chance to capitalize on it until May of 25.
Yeah, wow. It was amazing. Like you said, it's not just downtown Morgantown. There's so much around it. We just kind of, in fact, John and I were talking about, we just had to kind of like, we can't do them all. So you got to figure, well, you could, if you're crazy, I guess you stay up all night and do it and not stop. I guess, I don't know who the person who found the most in the area was, but they had to have gone nonstop. It really had to have been because we just we looked at the whole thing and John and I were like, okay, we want to do, had them almost like in the sections. And that's kind of the way we did it was like, we're going to go to this section of the caches because we're interested at, between the two of us and Jody, we're like, let's go do this section of the massive, sprawl of caching. And I think we picked well, for that. I think we did great with that.
I think we did well. And even I drove through that area like what was it? Was it like a month beforehand or something? Right. And it was like, I'm like, I want to get kind of a lay of the land. And it was funny, I only grabbed 2 caches on that trip in the Morgantown area. And I grabbed one and I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to meet up with Mark. Sorry, Mark. Texted him. And then sure enough, I pull over to the next one and I get out of the car and I hear, hey, John. And it was Mark. Yeah. 2 caches in the Morgantown area. What are the odds, But
that's a welcome. That's a guy who knows his marketing and welcoming.
Well, first I was like, is that West Virginia friendliness where I just get out of my car and people are like, hello, John, and I'm like,
they just have somebody stationed at every cache to greet you. That's what
welcome, John.
I know.
That's awesome. Yeah. And we talked a little before the show that, it really went well too. It's something that humongous, you have a great team for that. Were you able to
sort of keep the team together, or are you guys kind of looking for people to be part of Cachemore? How did that work out as far as your team goes?
Yeah, so for Geo Woodstock, we had about 15 people on our core team here in town. And then we had a pretty extensive ambassador team, about 50, 60 people. And whenever it came time to like packaging all of the swag and stuff and helping set up the event venue and facilitating all the events, like, all of those people put in a lot of work, not only during that weekend, but in the months and months leading up to it. So one of the big goals with Cachemore is to allow people the opportunity to actually get to enjoy the event. So we have a good bit of our team is coming back, returning. But this is going to be a much smaller event, hopefully less stressful, fingers crossed, that everyone can get to enjoy a little more caching in Morgantown and some of the events and activities that we have going on as well.
It's kind of a skewed perspective when you think 400 or 500 people is a smaller event. But, I mean, hey, you're setting the standard, so that's okay, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It was funny. Also, we talked about, and I brought it up on the screen. I'll bring it up a few times tonight, but the Cachemore website, Cachemore.com, CACHE, obviously, we're cachers, Cachemore, MORE.com. So definitely everybody check that out. And something we talked about prior to the show, something that Jesse brought up, which was a great point. And that is that you guys have done such a good job of getting your ducks in a row early. Your site is amazing. I have been on, and we've probably all been on, multiple mega sites, and they can either be average, some are good, most of them are just average, and then some are downright awful. And so you're like,
and this one's awesome, right? Like it gives you confidence as soon as you look at both the event page and the cache page. Yep. Like you go to a lot of these. I'm not going to name any megas when I say this, but you've gone to some megas before, and you can tell that it's geocachers throwing something together that have no idea how to host an event, which is great because that's what megas are, right? That's what megas are. However, like when you see this one, if you see this website, it gives you confidence. Like I can spend my vacations here, and I think my vacation days here. It's going to be okay because they've got it put together. They're going to know what to do when they get in town. It's not going to be thrown together and everything else. And I understand that there's no like HQ for anybody that doesn't know. HQ does not send in a team to help you host these events, nor do they send in money. They send digital stuff to you and resources and everything else, but they do not send this magic team to come in and build websites and all this other stuff for you. So when you see something like this, you know that like you guys have put together an amazing team. Like this is, I hate to use the term because it's not a real term, but it's professional. It's a professionally done mega, right? I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like a company was brought in to do this. And that inspires confidence for somebody that's like, because not everybody gets to go to 50 megas a year like Gary does. So, if you're only getting to pick 1 or 2 megas a year, you're going to pick based on what you know. And either you've heard about it before or is this worth my time? And, when of course, you're coming on here so people get to hear a little more about it. But, are you going there because of the location? Well, yeah, the scenery. Are you going there because it's going to be well organized? Well, yeah. Are you going there because it's going to be a crap ton of caches and you already have a lot of that information? Yeah. So, I mean, like you've already checked off a lot of things. Even if people didn't intend to go to it before, when they look at this, they're going to go, I feel pretty confident I can go here and it's going to be what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and all of that is credit to our team, honestly. It's like I am pretty good at, seeing the big picture and kind of, putting the right people in the room, whether that's like the graphics or the website coding or some of those like behind the scenes like data transfer and all of those things that like you don't really see all go on behind the scenes by an incredibly talented group of people. So I get the pleasure and the honor of getting here and talking and being the spokesperson for it all. But trust me when I say that there's a lot of people putting a lot of work in behind the scenes to make sure it looks professional and that the website runs at all hours of the night and nothing crashes, It's like all these little things that you don't think about whenever you start to get into a project like this that at the end of the day can make or break the event.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, I got to ask you something before it slips my mind. Not non-pizza related question for one, right? Trading cards. Can you tell me about trading cards in Cachemore? Like how do those work?
Yeah, for sure. So this event as a whole is kind of spawning off of the idea of what going caching started.
Mm-hmm.
So for our listeners that aren't quite familiar, going caching was an insanely popular legendary mega that happened down in Rome, Georgia. And I'm trying to recall how many years they did it, but I want to say it was like close to 10 or so. It was a very long-standing mega in the community. And they did some crazy elaborate stuff over the years. And that event was retired in October of 2024. So obviously you can't recreate an event that is as legendary as going caching. And that's certainly, 14 years. Thank you, David. You can't recreate anything that was that awesome. And that's not what we're trying to do here. But we're trying to take those elements that, we saw that people really enjoyed and that people really gravitated to and see how we can put our own twist on it, how we can bring that back for a new generation of cachers. So one of the first ideas that we kind of came up with was this idea of trading cards. So whenever you go on the website to register, you can have the opportunity to create your own trading cards. So this is going to be putting your picture, some caching facts, like how long you've been caching for, your favorite cache that you've ever found, those types of things. It's a really great icebreaker to get to know other people. They make great swag items that you can leave in caches. But one thing that we're doing special this year is that there is a puzzle actually hidden in the set of the trading card. There you go. Gary has his trading card from going caching.
Going caching ones, I like it.
From going caching, yep.
It's like you find them in caches all the time. They make great things to trade and leave behind. Like I was saying, there's going to be a puzzle that is baked into the trading card set. So if you want to try to collect all the cards and figure out, maybe something that's a little off or something that you can piece together, there's going to be a bonus geocache, a difficulty 5 mystery cache placed somewhere throughout Morgantown that if you collect enough of the cards and piece together what you're supposed to be doing, you can go find. And the FTF prize for that is going to be a free VIP registration to next year's event. So pretty good prize on the table for the first person to complete that.
Yeah. Now, if somebody's not going to go, can they still order cards, or do people have to attend the mega event? Right now, the mega event, it's not Giga yet, but it's just mega from what I understand. So could they still order cards?
So for this first year, we're kind of seeing what the appetite is. So in the past, Going Caching has shipped cards out, and I know there's a few other, like you can order trading cards through FTF magazine and some other avenues and stuff like that. So for this year specifically, we're going to say, like, if you want to come, you can pick up your trading cards in person. We're not going to try to ship cards out for this year, but definitely something we could think about in the future.
Very cool. Yeah, something too. Let's back up a moment, because one of the things that, and I want you to hit the highlights that you want to hit tonight as well, because one of the things that really struck me was that your approach to this mega is that you have, it's completely different than all the other megas that are out there. And I think that when I looked at y'all's, what you're, sort of the highlights that you wanted to share with people, I was like, wait a minute, this is completely different. this idea, and that's what really got me so excited about this. And then I found out the dates are a little overlapping for some of us, the three of us for sure. We'll be overseas somewhere when this hits. But talk a little bit about this idea, because there are so many things, and we'll have time tonight. We're going to cover as many as we can, but it is fascinating. The approach you took for this is almost like we got to do something completely different. Now, a lot of times people do that, and it's terrible because they're just trying to do something different, and it really doesn't work out. But I think your ideas for this one, pretty amazing. I mean, this idea of these hidden things and the clues and you're kind of important, like you said, you're incorporating like a whole town being part of an escape room. Talk a little bit about, I guess, let's talk about in a big broad sense, and then we'll get some of the smaller ones. But from a broad perspective, what was y'all's theme, I guess you could say, or the guts of the thing? Where were you wanting to go with the differences with this?
Yeah. So when we think about Geo Woodstock, we think about kind of like a Comic Con or convention of geocaching. We want anybody and everybody to come, to have a great time, for there to be so many different things to do that you can definitely find something that you're going to enjoy. And that's great, because that is what that event is for. But then you take a step back and you look at some of the other megas that happen. So you have like MOGA, which is like more of a competition orienteering punch style event. Yep. You have Cache Fest, which is more of like that hands-on, like educational, like academic type of event. You have Midwest Geobash, which is very much like a community feel, like camping and on the fairgrounds. So we definitely didn't want to overlap with anything too closely. But when we looked at what we did for Geo Woodstock, and we look at the pieces that people really gravitated towards, it was those aspects of going out into the community, meeting with the locals, going to local businesses. Not too long after Geo Woodstock, I went to the West Virginia Tourism Conference, and I had so many businesses and tourism agencies come up to me, just astounded by the generosity of geocachers, how pleasant everyone was, and just the overwhelming support that geocachers gave back to an area.
Right.
So when you really get down to the nuts and bolts, is we wanted to further immerse a smaller group of more intentional geocachers that, this is the type of stuff that they eat and breathe. Like, they want to be immersed. So we want to send people back into the community. We want people to find caches, to find adventure labs. And then you start to think about what are some tactics, what are some channels that we can use to do that. And you start thinking like, well, like, this is pretty similar to like The Amazing Race or like a game of Dungeons and Dragons. But what if instead of, the story and the theme happening around you, like, you are the story, like you are the main character in the story. And as you go to each of these locations and find these caches, the clues are presented to you. And as you go throughout the weekend, you learn more and more information. And it kind of all like comes together at the end in like this really satisfying, like, aha way. And then thinking of that, like, that's a lot of stress to try to get to all these locations and figure it out all on your own. So how can we create kind of like a tribal feel and ensure that no one really feels too alone, that there's always going to be someone to help out? And that's kind of where the idea of teams came from.
Right.
And teams, like, I hate using the word teams, and we're probably not going to use the word team in any future theming because it's not competitive, and I don't want people to think it's competitive.
Right.
So these are just your people that if you're wearing the same shirt color, if you're signing in the same ink, that's someone that you can go and ask for help. That's someone that you can talk to, and you shouldn't feel awkward about it. One cool thing that we're doing is we're partnering with 4 different host hotels within the Morgantown area, 2 for like the blue team and 2 for the red team. And they're actually going to be opening up their like conference spaces and some of their like general meeting rooms. So after the sun sets and everyone goes back to their hotel for the night, you can still trade cards and you can still talk about the caches you found and put together any information. So you're never really on your own.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is very cool, because that is something that I was always amazed, or was very amazed at one year when I was at Going Caching, which was everybody did their, went to the registration. They got their cards, and then it was almost like, even though it was completely organic, but it was like, go back to the hotel, get checked in, and then when you go downstairs to the lobby, you see these pockets of people who are sitting around a table, and they're, got their pens and papers out, and people got their computers out, and bringing laptops and everything. And they're sitting around and they're starting to work together on puzzles, and they're talking about, and then somebody else walks by and they, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Here's a card, and they trade cards. So there was this, as I was sort of being an observer, looking at that and saying, that is really cool. And that's something that actually we saw that actually in Cache Fest with the host hotel as well, where you walk the halls and people are trying to solve puzzles, and it was kind of fun to walk around and kind of have somebody see you and go, hey, I need some. It's like, oh, I'm not helping you with that. That's you got to work on it yourself. I'm not, and that was kind of the fun part, was the camaraderie and the the ribbing of come on, give me some information. I need information. And so there's something about that I think you're going to capture with this as well.
Yeah. Mark, like when you're describing this, to build upon what you and Gary are saying, it kind of like almost gives me like collaborative or cooperative game vibes. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So David mentioned is that, some very late nights in lobbies and restaurants. So
see, that's very different than some of the other megas that are really competition based, right? Like this is more collaborative. Like Gary and I remember many years ago, Texas Challenge, we were there, and Gary brought me in. He had already seen it before, and I had no idea what I was coming into. So he was just sitting back laughing, waiting for me to watch. That was an extremely competitive event. And you have teams from the different regions, and instead of nicely putting together, like they are competing. Not that they're being mean or anything. I don't mean to say that, but like they're aggressively competing. Like there was one team, and I heard him say this, and I was like, "Are they serious?" And Gary's like, "Yeah." They had like RV base where they're running all the tech side of it, and like walkie-talkie into teams of cars going out to. It was intense. But that's a totally different vibe. And it sounds like you're creating something not opposite, but completely different than that. And that cooperative spirit at the front, a little more laid back, like it's an immersive environment, but it's, D&D sounds good for it. Or like, anybody knows that game Pandemic that you play, it's a cooperative game. Right. It's more like that than like you're battling against another team. And that's I like that vibe. I'm all over competition, but you don't want everything to be like that, right? You want to have different. I think you really made something different by doing that.
Yeah, and that sounds so cool because like if somebody's like a newer catcher, this doesn't really sound like an intimidating event. Where like one of those like team-based ones could be like incredibly intimidating.
Yeah, that's the hope at least. And it's not that there isn't going to be any sort of like competition or like competitive edge, because like you said, there's some people that are really into that. So like I mentioned, the first person to complete the trading card puzzle gets a pretty nice FTF prize. We are minting special finisher coins for the people that finish like the story and kind of solve all the puzzles that they're supposed to solve. There's going to be a special geocoin awarded to them. But then at the end of the event, at the closing ceremonies, at the wrap up, we're going to kind of walk through and peel the curtain back and kind of show anything that you might have missed, or give you that last little piece of information that maybe you didn't have time to finish, or things just weren't clicking. So even if you spend all day Friday and all day Saturday working on it and you just didn't finish it, well, we're going to help you get over that edge. So then Sunday morning before you leave town, you can go through and you can finish and you can sign your name in the logbook.
That's awesome.
That's that little hint at the bottom of the geocaching page right there.
Yeah,
definitely.
So quick note I want to put right now, was we're getting ready to talk about some other things, which is the notes for tonight that we've put together. And in every show, you can go to the geocachetalk.com website /show-notes / and you can get there and you can get to the notes. So they will be up after the show in case you need to get the links. I have I think I got most of the links for Cachemore up there. So got the trading cards and all the other links, but you can always go to cachemore.com for that as well. So definitely want to point those out. So you've got, amazingly, and I'm saying this because I've seen some megas that are supposed to be ready by now and they're not, and you guys are way ahead of the curve here, but you've got a lot of your side events already published and ready to go. At least they're on the Cachemore site. So
not quite published yet, but they're all blocked out. Hopefully end of this month, beginning of next month.
Cool.
Again, we're not going to do anything too crazy with the side events this go around, because we obviously want you to have time to go out and enjoy the activities. But we'll have like a standard package pickup event on Friday morning. That's kind of the kickoff to everything. And then one thing that we're doing on Friday night, if you guys remember the costume soiree from Going Caching, we're going to bring that back in a little different fashion on Friday night. And that's going to be like the without giving too much away, kind of like the plot twist of the story. So that's going to be the climax. Something's going to happen in that event that is going to kind of change the way you might think about the story or the puzzle. And there might be some additional activities or team-based things that you kind of have to do on that Friday night event to get to the next stage. So if there's any side event that you're going to come to, definitely make sure it's that Friday night. It's the Signal Symposium event. And one thing that we're trying to encourage, dress in your team colors. Feel free to dress up, have some fun with it, step into the Matrix vibes, all of that fun stuff. We're really trying to build upon kind of the joy of what that costume soiree was from Going Caching.
Right.
I like that you've already, I know you can't publish them yet, but I like that you've already got them cleanly laid out. Because, and I understand the impetus for it, but people want to make it like a whole week a lot of times for these megas, which is great. Nothing wrong with that. But it almost gets overwhelming sometimes when there's either too many events or there's not a really laid out plan for the events, and then kind of a cautionary tale, right? You want to go and do everything. I'm one of those that wants to go to every event and I want to talk to everybody that's there. And it's really hard when that's not very organized. So you can plan a long time ahead, and y'all have got them laid out cleanly. And I know you said you're not going to do a lot. Well, you're doing a lot, first of all. You're not doing, but there's multiple events. You've got them cleanly laid out already, even before they're, and that's what people need to plan this far ahead. And I do like that a lot. And I prefer that in a mega, I would say.
One of the original concepts of this event was I wanted the tagline to be something like the craziest 24 hours of geocaching or something like that. And you have events like all throughout the night, and like it's go, 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 caches published at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And I told this idea to my team and they go, nope. So
nope.
Good. I'm glad they said that, because that's
Yeah.
I know it's like 48 hours, but the same difference,
Yeah. You got a lot. It's that balance. Y'all are striking a good balance between giving everybody a lot to do, but not overwhelming everybody, and that FOMO that comes sometimes when there's just too much stuff.
Yeah. in as we're talking about I think it's smart too. There's really two teams, right? You're either on the blue team or the red team. Kind of makes it really. I think sometimes it works better to not go too complex with things. Like, well, there's 5 teams, and what do I mean? There were times, and maybe I'm one of the ones that it's not really designed for, but I going caching, I love going caching. So I want to pre-say that.
Yeah.
But there are some things that would occur that was like, wait, what's going on? Because it would get to be, I mean, it would be a lot, so much. It was like, it could sort of times for me was overload.
It was a learning curve
for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some people, it was like not enough. I mean, there's some people that are just they go crazy, and which is fine, but it's to strike that balance between having too much and having enough, and I think this is sort of, from what I can tell, this is going to hit. It's like a bell curve. You want to hit that big bell in the middle with everybody. You don't want to go too far, and I think sometimes going caching would go too far one direction. And of course, at that point, the bell curve's gotten really small, so you're doing a lot for a little tiny group at the bottom, at the very, very expert level, and you're kind of missing some of that middle. You're missing a lot of that middle group when you do something that's too detailed and too, like you said, it's 3 a.m. in the morning ish, when you need to hit more of the big bell in the middle. So a couple of things I also want to bring up. Again, cachemore.com, go check it out. We've got the information, it'll be up on the website. And there's some of your events already, of course, are out there. Like you said, the Friday night, the big Friday night event. What are some other things that you're wanting to do? Maybe you don't want to share tonight, but what are some things that you're hoping to do to kind of enhance this immersion escape room / D&D type thing, where again, because some of the details aren't quite ready yet, but
right.
In a general sense, what are some other things that you guys are thinking about doing?
Yeah, so one of the things that I really enjoyed that we did for Geo Woodstock were those wild and wonderful events. It was awesome to see kind of what other communities would do once we kind of give them the theme and the runway, and just watch them take off and absolutely soar. So for this event, we are publishing 5 puzzles in the weeks leading up to the event, and encouraging cachers in their own community to host puzzle solving, get together, kind of like warm up events. So these puzzles aren't going to be important or critical to solving the big weekend mystery, but they might give you a little bit of a glimpse of what types of puzzles you can expect. They might give you some ideas of what some mechanics might be that you might have to reuse. And then whenever you get here in Morgantown, that's going to be 5 really awesome mystery caches that you can mark as found. So the idea is that hopefully everyone comes to the event with these 5 puzzles already solved. And then inside those caches, we're going to put trading cards that might be a little harder to find, or they might be a little bit more scarce. So if you find those pre-event puzzles, you're going to have a better chance of completing your trading card set quicker.
Oh,
wow, that is cool.
I like that. Yeah,
that is cool. Hey, Mark, I got to ask: is there anything you can spill the beans on that has not been released yet?
Oh, yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah, so we just launched it on our Facebook, but we are actually giving away a 3-night hotel stay for the weekend of the event, courtesy of our tourism partner, Visit Mountaineer Country.
Nice.
So all you have to do to enter to be able to win this free 3-night stay is to join our free newsletter. That's on our website, cachemore.com. If you just go in, type in your email, make sure you're subscribed so we can make sure to contact you. And the best part about all of it is that if you're already registered for Cachemore, you are automatically included. We already got your email on file, and we're going to put it into the lottery with all of the other ones. And then at the end of this month, we're going to pull a winner, and you're going to get your choice between any of the 4 hotels that we're partnering with. So you can come in on Thursday and leave on Sunday. So you'll be here for the whole weekend of events. You'll get to do everything that you want to do with a little less stress.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's so cool. So for those that are planning, and I know you don't have it all laid out yet, but do you think that Wednesday through Sunday, Thursday through Sunday, as far as people like starting to, because some people plan ahead, and some people I know, crazy people up in New York who don't really know what they're, who they gotta
Whoa, Gary.
What?
You,
I'm sorry.
crazy people from New York. We're awesome people from New York, man.
He didn't say Canada. Settle down.
Okay, Canada. They have to plan their vacations out a long time in advance because
True. That is true.
Poor management that's done in the state and different things like that. And the SUNYs, the state universities up there.
Whoa, Gary, step it back. Man. Step
Okay,
it back.
maybe I shouldn't mention SUNYs, right? No, I'm kidding. So Tuesday through Sunday, Wednesday through Sunday. I mean, obviously people come as early as they want, but is there a particular what's the perfect amount right now, do you think? For days?
Yeah, so the event officially kicks off package pickup at 10 a.m. on Friday. So as long as you're in town before 10 a.m. on Friday, you'll have enough time to do everything that you want to do. Wrap-up events ends at 5-ish on Saturday with a bonfire event after that, and then a Sunday morning CETO. So really, the idea is travel in on Thursday, spend the night Thursday, so you can wake up, maybe find some of those pre-event puzzles before package pickup, and then you have all day Friday and all day Saturday before you leave town after the CETO on Sunday.
Perfect. Yeah, because David mentions, he says, going cash was best when you could be there Wednesday night through Saturday. Not everyone could do that, and they missed the full effect of the event.
Mm-hmm.
A smaller time frame would be different, and this is, I think you got the, again, perfect, the bell curve, get Friday through Sunday, and and some of the things Houston, Texas Dave mentioned, goes simplicity is key.
Mm-hmm.
Simplicity effectively, though, you don't want to be, there's that we've talked about before, you got that perfect, timing of everything, because or you could do like going cash was like, we're gonna hit you with a fire hose, and if you want to get hit by a fire hose, stand right in the middle. But if you want to hit by part of the fire hose, you kind of stand to the edge of it, and you can kind of get some of your your body wet there from the fire hose. But for some people, and I saw this, and I know you guys are already prepared for something like this, but some people showed up at going caching, and they didn't know that they were standing in the middle, and the fire hose hit them, and they're like, "Oh, what do I do now?" In fact, they had, I think, they had a booth, I think, set up that was specifically designed for people who got hit by the fire hose and don't know what to do, and they come talk to us, and we'll help you with it.
That's not a bad idea, though. Yeah.
No, not a bad idea. But
simplicity is what you want the people attending to see. That's how you know you've done a good job, right? Like all the complex stuff that goes behind with data and logistics and everything else, that shouldn't be seen by the public. They should see, well, this is just a clean, simple event. This is great. But the months and months that have gone into it, and that's how you know you're successful, if they don't see behind the curtain. But like Gary and I I think we were working a booth or whatever at Texas Challenge, and a guy and his young son walked up to our booth. And they were wide-eyed. That was their first geocache. They had never geocached before, and they just heard about an event in town, so they just walked up. And they're like, we're not sure what's going on. And I'm like, so Gary and I just went through the whole explanation. He's like, normally you're just looking for stuff in the woods.
Right.
However, there's people from all over the world here racing around town doing this at high speed. You don't have to do any of that today.
No.
And now I think, was that the same one that walked up with one of the hidden things from the challenge?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we found this. Is this
We
what we're
found
supposed to be
this.
doing?
They're
And
like-
it was not a published cache. It was part of the contest later. And they're like, we've never cached before. What are we supposed to be doing? And they're like, first of all, hide that. You're about to get jumped.
Right.
Second of all, come over here and we'll explain everything that's going on. But yeah, it was kind of like they just walked into the belly of the beast and had no idea. I don't think they just downloaded the app like 5 minutes ago. They didn't know what was going on. And but there is like that was different though. That's a very highly competitive event or whatever. And this is going to be different. But like there are new people that come to these megas, and if it's not like well laid out like this one is and everything else, you can get overwhelmed very quickly. And one, you could lose a geocacher, or two, they could just not enjoy themselves, right? Which we don't want. But I think cleanly laying it out like y'all are doing, I think that's because we always think expert cachers go to megas. Well, that's not always true. Sometimes it's your brand new people that are like, that's how they heard about it. So yeah, it's that you got to strike that balance, right?
And that's always the problem too with a new mega. Like there's not a culture, there's no expectation of what to expect. So we're trying to keep things, involved and elaborate enough to be satisfying and impressive without being over complicated. So this is definitely like a warm up. Definitely have some more ideas cooking about how we can go bigger and do more in the years to follow. But gotta see how this goes first, and if there's even an appetite. Because if no one shows up, then there is not going to be a mega anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah, trust me. There's
Hey, Mark,
plenty of activity. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, are there any key dates, Mark, that people should be aware of, like to register their will attend, to register, to purchase packages?
Yeah. So this year we're going to try a new model with the registration and allow registration all the way up into just about the event. So we're going to close the store in like early June-ish. And the hope is that everyone that wants to register is going to have the opportunity to. But I mean, as you guys know, you have to order coins and shirts and all of the things way, way, way in advance. So once it's gone, it's gone. So definitely, register as soon as you're able to, as soon as you know that you're going to be able to attend. Hop on and grabs your t-shirt and your coin and some of the event swag. That's how we can make sure all of this is funded in the first place, to make sure you have a great time.
Yep.
All of that comes through swag sales and sponsorships and things like that. So do it as soon as possible. And a cool thing too with the trading cards is that if you make your trading card sooner rather than later, you can actually pick which number that you want on your trading card. So like if you have a number in your geocaching name, or you have a number that you're more accustomed to, or that you would prefer, they're going to be awarded on a first come first serve basis. So definitely, if there's something that hits your heart that you want, register soon.
Very cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, we got a little bit of time left. If we can, let's talk a little bit about Saturday, the day of the event. And there's always so much going on. It's amazing. I can't tell you how wonderful it was to be at Gigastock and see everyone and walk around and just it was tremendous. But let me ask you about a couple things. I like a couple things that really stuck out to me. One is you're not doing the photo until later in the day, which I think is genius, because every mega I've ever been to, they want to do their group photo at like 8 a.m. or some kind of crazy amount. It's like, okay, well, everybody's not necessarily here. I know some people treat it differently. They treat it like, oh, let's go to the mega. We're there for 5 minutes. Let's leave. It's like, it's more like Geo Woodstock. You wanted to be there because there's so much to see and do and people to see. I guess I'm too much of a social animal, but I like the fact that you got that in the afternoon. I love the fact that you've got The group photos at 3:45. In case people are wondering what I was talking about. You've got lunch. We've got some local food trucks will be on there, which I think is great. I have seen the Woodstock Fort Worth was a good example of a good internal food situation. I've seen some that don't go well internally. The food truck one tends to go well, although I've seen where
Not
the
always.
food truck, not always.
Not
I was
always.
about to say.
Right. We'll just move on past that.
We'll let's not mention the 14er, but most of the time,
Easy.
they don't.
Whoa. Hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
They don't bail on you like the ones that are. But food trucks, great idea. I think it's a great idea.
Mhm.
You got a lot of puzzle stuff going on, which I think is really cool.
Mhm.
I really love that. Are there other things that you wanted to maybe point out? You got a reviewer Q&A, which is always fun.
Oh yeah.
Bring your tomatoes, bring your, soft vegetables to throw.
Soft vegetables.
Bring your appreciation, Gary. Bring your appreciation and thanks to them.
That's what he meant. Present them with a
Present
gift.
it with a rotten tomato. That's what you're supposed to do.
No,
right?
Gary. These are the people that
Just a regular
that make
tomato.
our awesome game happen, man. Those are the people that you see there, and you should give a high five to and say thank you for what you do.
Now, I do love that y'all are doing the puzzle workshop, though. We're obviously, no surprise, we're big on workshops for teaching people how to do things. Yeah. And I love that y'all are doing that because that is one of the barriers for so many people is putting out their own puzzle. Not only solving ones, but putting out their own puzzle. That's like a whole different level for people. And I think I kind of wish every appropriate mega, not competition megas, but every appropriate mega would do more of the 101 and the enhancing the education for people.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to mega, you're thinking convention, you're thinking, there should be at least a little element where people can come in and learn and be better when they leave. So I love that y'all are doing that.
Yeah, so much of this event is, about the puzzles and the trading cards and going out in town. But like, there's people that don't want to do that. They just want to come. They want to be social. They want to hang out. So these speaker sessions are definitely catered towards that group. Where people ask me all the time, like, where do you come up with your ideas for these puzzles, or like what goes on in your brain? And for the most part, you don't want to know. But I feel like walking through some of the steps of what makes a good puzzle. Where do you start looking for inspiration? How do you put them together in a way that makes that aha moment so satisfying? Like, those are topics that you don't really get any guidance on, or there's no like quality control. So just having someone kind of walk through the thought process and kind of what goes on. And then plus these speaker sessions are going to be a great opportunity for maybe some hints to drop about the weekend puzzle as a whole. So maybe if you're there, working on the puzzle with your crew or your trading cards, you might get a few, freebie hints here and there, just in passing. So there's definitely going to be a lot of things happening at the main event site. That's going to be worth coming in and checking it out.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah, because that's when people get into caching, unless they've been in the game, even some that have been in the game for a long time, it's that's one of those hard things for people to do is approach others and say, "Can you help me with this?" Even though once they do it, they're like, "Of course we can." Like people are like, "Of course I can help you." But that's that barrier to get over from the beginning. Like, can I reach out to somebody? Is that okay? And this kind of breaks that wall, so that's good.
Yes. A couple other things I want to go over a few, and then John has been, if you've commented, sometimes we don't do the comments for all of them because we want to keep them to sort of put them all together in one little thing. So if you have made a comment or if you have a question that you would like to have answered, you have time right now to put it in the chat room. And we will put a star by it, and John will work with that and with Mark and get those answered. A couple more quick things. I wanted to get to that before the show gets over with because we're running out of time. And that is, you've got 4 p.m. You've got announcements, awards, and prizes.
Mm-hmm.
So what anything you want to mention about that particular spot?
So this is going to be like your closing ceremonies.
Okay.
Like I said, we're going to peel back the curtain a little bit and maybe walk you through if things that you might have missed. We're not going to give you the answer, but we'll definitely give you enough of kind of the ins and outs that you can piece it together with what you have. We're going to highlight those cachers that found the containers first and kind of finished everything. And then we're going to announce the theme for next year, assuming there's enough people that come and enjoy this and it doesn't all fall apart at the 12th hour. The theme that we're working on for next year, I'm so excited about it, and I know everyone attending will be as well too. So definitely come hang out at 4 p.m. to learn what next year's theme is going to be too.
Yeah, and then what's that going to be?
Nobody's listening. Go ahead and tell us now.
Yeah,
it's going to be cool.
I
just take my word for it.
Mark, I just switched it off so people can't hear. It's just us. So go ahead.
I just cut off all
John's voting for pizza.
All the 500 people watching. So
I think. I mean, you got good pickle pizza nearby at Pies and Pines. I mean, you should embrace it.
John wants you to go for the first pizza themed mega.
Oh God,
yes. Oh my God,
we can do that. We can make that happen.
Oh man.
All right. Well, one other item off the grid. Off the grid. Yeah.
Off the grid is our social kind of like laid back event after all the madness is done. Join us at the campground that's steps away from the event venue for campfire, s'mores, just hang out, good vibes, hopefully nice weather.
Nice, perfect. And then system debug.
So system debug is going to be our closing CETO, our opportunity to give back to the environment. We have a pretty popular biking trail that kind of runs from Morgantown across the state line into Pennsylvania. So along that Mason-Dixon line, that could use a little bit of love. So we're going to have a little CETO there that will actually be a legit CETO. I'm sure we've all been to mega events where you kind of pick up one piece of trash and there's 500 people. No, we're going to need all the hands that we can get.
That never happens. Trust me, we picked up some crazy stuff in Memphis. I don't want to know. I don't know what diseases are out there, but we just they'll have, if you go to the CETO, Mark and his team will make sure you have something that you can, gloves or some sort of
for sure.
They'll have everything ready to go. So you might find some crazy stuff. I mean, there's stories still being told about the crazy stuff we found in that crazy part of Memphis. Crazy. Remember?
Yeah, we can't talk about those on air, Gary.
Yeah, we still have a family friendly show.
That's for Geocache Talk after hours. So
that's after hours.
So John, you got some things you've highlighted. You want to bring those up for Mark?
Yeah, we'll bring those up, and a lot of good ones on here, Mark, and on here for Jim, good old Jim. So thank you, Jim, for joining us. Our good friend Thunderstruck on here says, did Morgantown want to keep Cachemore around the same time of the year as you hosted Geo Woodstock? Or was there discussion of hosting Cachemore at a different time of the year?
Sure. So when we initially conceived Cachemore, we really wanted to have it in the fall. Going caching was always in the fall. There was kind of a gap on the mega event calendar. West Virginia and Appalachia in the fall is absolutely stunning. But if you live in a college town, mainly one that has 60,000 people on a game day, and you go to a hotel and you're like, hey, can you give us room blocks and discounts? That's a hard no. That's a hard no real fast. So kind of, limited in when in the year we can do it. Obviously, we tried to stay away from some of the other big geocaching events. So Midwest Geobash is always at the end of July. Geo Woodstock is always in Memorial Day. So we tried to thread that gap, but a lot of it just came down to when the venue was available and when the timeline all kind of sunk up. So end of June just kind of happened to work for us. Obviously, it's not going to work for everyone, but we'll definitely be proactive in future years about trying to get that date out as soon as we know.
Awesome.
I like it.
And then Dave Simmons says he just wanted to comment on here, guys, in regards to the reviewer comment. He says he gets along with reviewers. They have a tough job and they volunteer for it. Absolutely, Dave.
Yeah, we were
I
obviously
agree.
joking.
Yeah,
We
I
all love
agree
the
completely.
reviewers. And I've said it many times, it's still true. If I had to become a reviewer, like that was part of your duty of being a geocacher, I would just quit. I would go find another game and I would do something else. I'd do the little scanning the QR code game or whatever. I would not be doing geocache if I had to be a reviewer. It's just no way.
Yeah.
Those guys will never get paid enough, which is nothing, but they will never get paid enough, or they never get rewarded enough to do what they're doing for this game.
Yeah. Love the
Yeah.
reviewers. I would just plan.
Yeah,
I know.
throw anything
I know.
Gary actually hates the reviewers. Spread that around. Let's go ahead and
No,
spread that
please
around.
don't.
He'll never get another cache published. Just go ahead and
Oh,
spread that
no. Yeah. We got a good comment from Trish, TWH Rider, on here saying her new cache that's coming out was partially inspired by a cache from Morgantown. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I mean, so many good caches around
Very cool.
Morgantown.
Love
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of what
that
you
is
hope
awesome.
too, right? When you do a mega and you do some really awesome caches, you're hoping to people will take those ideas and bring them back to their community and continue to improve in their community. So you've done something well if you've inspired people to take it back home and keep improving.
Yeah, absolutely. And big shout out to Chrysler King 987. He said, "Hey John, we solved all of your puzzles last week, all of them. So hey, congratulations, Chrysler King 987, on solving all of my puzzles. That's awesome. I hope you enjoyed those." And Geocaching Ninja, big shout out to Geocaching Ninja. He is awesome. Logan is just awesome, and he was making pizza during the show. So how cool is that? Yeah,
He's the guy you want with you if you have something up high.
absolutely.
Yes.
You do not
Definitely
need a
one.
ladder.
Especially if
You don't need any ladders.
Like a-
just bring the ninja with you.
Right.
well, like if they grease the pole before they, like, oh, we're gonna make this a hard cache. Hey, man. Yeah, you know what? I got a geocaching ninja. You don't have.
Yeah, we got our own
Give him
top.
a-
We're good.
He go,
Yeah.
boop, 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 he's right up that. He go right up that pole in 2 seconds. He'll sign
Logan
it,
is just incredible, man.
put it back, and it takes him
Incredible.
like 4 or 5 seconds. You don't even know he's done it. That's how fast he is.
Yeah. And Mark, we had a question on this one too. Teams at the campgrounds? Question mark.
Teams.
I think that's referring
Yeah,
to
so the
like how the
KOA
hotels are split up.
campground,
Maybe
was
is that
just-
what we're talking about.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the KOA at the main event site there, it just opened a couple months ago. Honestly, it's very, very nice. Probably nicer than most of the hotels that I've stayed at. So we're not saying it's blue or red, but we're definitely encouraging people, if you want to bring some flair to decorate your campsite, if you want to bring a sign or something that lets people know what team you're on, you're definitely more than welcome to do that.
I like that.
That is awesome. And we got a question here too from Dave Simmons. He says, ask Mark if he knows Jenny's number. Do you know Jenny's number?
I got her number.
I don't know
I
that
feel
Mark's
like
old
I'm
enough
a
to know
little
that
too
number.
young for that
Mark's
one.
too young.
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue. It
Yeah,
starts with
exactly.
8. Okay.
867.
Yeah, no worries, Mark. I've heard it's
Starts
8675309. That's what I-
309.
yeah. Don't ask
There
me
you go.
how I
There
know
won't be
that.
any puzzles about that. I can guarantee you.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Um,
And then Phil Cunningham says he'll bring his e-bike. Do you recommend people bring their e-bikes if they have them?
Yeah, so the terrain in West Virginia is definitely varied, but the hiking biking trail that the Cito is on is nice flat crushed limestone, so an e-bike would be perfect for that.
awesome.
Nice.
Very cool.
Hey, Mark, and speaking of trails, I got to offer you a true or false question.
Uh-oh.
The true or false question is, your trail in Morgantown, West Virginia is part of a network of trails that also comes into beautiful Western New York called the Industrial Heartland Trails Coalition. True or false?
Boy, that sounds like a setup.
I don't know that, honestly. I'm going to say false, but I mean, the trails connect everywhere, so maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry,
there
Mark.
you
the
go.
answer is true. The answer
Sorry,
is
you
true.
were-
So you see Morgantown and then beautiful Western New York up there. So
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
very
you
cool. I
actually
didn't know they.
Our guests. That's not
Yeah.
proper etiquette. You're not supposed to stump them. That's
you're not
good.
supposed to ask true and false questions to the guests.
You know, Don't be mean to our guests. I mean,
No. I'm
He's
just
our
I'm
buddy.
just raising trail awareness between Morgantown and beautiful Western New York on here.
I love it.
there was
Um,
something to. Yeah, that's the one. Very good
Yeah,
job.
in Trish TWH
So you can
Riders
start
asking-
placing caches in New York, and I'll start placing caches in Morgantown.
we should.
Oh.
We should. Yeah, let's
Sounds
do it.
good.
Yeah, and TWH Rider is asking, will there be a discount for the campground?
No discount for the KOA, but it is relatively cheap for being a very, very nice campground.
Cool.
Okay. And then we got a couple more comments on here too. Dave Simmons, and he asked this on his own accord. I can tell you this is true 100%. Will there be a pizza event in future years at Cachemore?
Say no.
I mean, every event can be a pizza event if we want.
Oh
Man,
ooh,
I love
that's a
that.
good answer.
I love that.
Very
And then Poan has a comment on here too. She says, "Go Team Red."
Mm.
Wow.
already.
She's registered. I just sent her trading card out this morning.
Oh.
There you go. Perfect.
Very cool.
I like it. I think
We
people
get
are
all-
excited about it. I'm sad that this is while we're going to be out of the country. Of
I know.
course it
Yeah.
is. All the cool things happen when we're unavailable, but
Yeah, we're very excited though for you
Next
Mark,
year.
and we're-
Yeah.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
Next
we're
year.
excited for this year too, and we will tout from the rooftops
Absolutely.
Cachemore because we know this is going to be amazing, and
yeah.
we want to get the word out, so much, and we so much thank you for coming on and giving us all the the scoop and everything, because I know you've got plenty of places you're going to be able to publicize and to market, as it were, the Cachemore. I'm so glad you're able to come on with us early in the year and get the word out and get the process going. So
Yeah. When
very
you going to
excited.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
the other two megas you're doing this
Yep.
year? Is that you going to announce that tonight or?
The other two megas you're doing.
Did you say gigas?
Hey, we're up
Did
to
you say gigas? Did I
double
hear you right?
digits.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, Giga.
We're up to
Ooh.
double digits megas in the United States for 2026 already, with two more prospective pretty soon. So it'll be an exciting year for megas.
No, and
Yeah.
that's actually very exciting because like we've mentioned some classic megas on here tonight, and no shade at all to that, right? Like I love those. There's a lot of great megas that are going on. I love them, Moga and going caching and the Texas Challenge. I love the competition stuff and all those like that. However, it's exciting when we get a new type of mega coming in.
Fresh.
And this is a fresh new mega because, like, let's say that we had one every month in the U.S. Okay, that's great. That's a lot of them. But if they're all the same all the time, we're still not reaching a certain segment. So we need new stuff, like new, fresh ideas, new ones coming in. Like, I don't think we can ever have too many, but, like, they can't all be the same or we're just reaching the same audience over and over. And part of geocaching is we got to bring more people in and more people that are excited about more things. And I think doing this and have it professionally done, I think that's huge for bringing more and more people to the mega scene part of geocaching.
Yeah. Another quick one, and then we're going to wrap up. But Lisa says, "I'm bad at puzzles. Will this be a bad event for me to attend?"
Yeah, I always tell people there's no such thing of being bad at puzzles. That concept just doesn't exist. I'm of the personal opinion that you're just not working on the right puzzles. But this event is really interesting because there's so many different things to do and ways to collaborate.
Right.
Yeah, if you're operating in a silo and you're just stuck on a puzzle, you're doing something wrong. Part of the puzzle is to talk with other people and engage and share ideas and ask for help. That's half the fun of it. And then even if that's not your thing, like we were talking about earlier in the show, there's so many great geocaches throughout Morgantown that you can come to the mega, attend a speaker series, come for the group photo, grab some lunch, and then go out and grab the caches that already exist in Morgantown. So you can really make it anything that you want.
Oh, that's great.
Love
All right. I'm going to do some final thoughts. I'll go real quick and let you guys go, but very excited. When I read the incredible webpage, I was so I was so excited. One, Mark, that you were doing that and your team was doing that because, you've got a track record now. Gigastock was incredible. You've set the bar really high, and I know you're going to hit that mark again. But very, very excited, and I can't, tell enough people about Cachemore because I'm going to do that. Up until the event, I'm going to tell people this is the mega to go to. So I am very excited. So John or Jesse, and we'll let Mark go last.
You want to? Let me go first because I'm giving Mark some heads up time before his turn.
Okay.
Because what I want Mark to do is, and John, this is for your benefit. When you get a chance, give the elevator pitch of why people would come to this. John loves pulling clips and putting those.
Yep.
So
I love clips. That's true.
So if people are, not the expert cachers, they kind of know what's going on. Just the general public, why should they pick Cachemore this year? Is if they're only getting to go to 1 or 2 megas, why should they pick that? So I'm going to give you time to think about that before it's your turn. So I'm not trying to stump you like this other rude host we have on here. So.
Whoa!
Whoa!
True and false question is not a stumper
it
question.
Is if nobody knows the answer, you got 50% chance of getting stumped. So I mean, come on.
You guess, my friend.
Yeah, I know. No, Mark, I'm excited about this one, even though I don't get to go, and it's always cool to get to go to the first of like setting a tradition and stuff like that. But I think what's exciting about this, and off the air, we constantly talk about this. Megas are hard because we've been on the backside of it, and I do not want to be there again other than just help promote it and everything else because it's so much to it. But I think we're still in that Wild West stage where we're about to hit we're right before the first Birdhouse cache came out. We're right before the first Gadget cache came out. We're right before what you're doing. Megas come out and set a standard for other megas. Now, I think the themes need to be all different. But there needs to be some standards that are set for how they're organized, how people get the information out, where it looks clean and professional. There's still some hurdles we have to go through because of the nature of the events we're talking about. But I think that's what you guys are doing with Giga and with Giga and with, I forgot to use my air quotes, and with this event, you're setting a new standard of there's a lot of people going to these events and they need to know what to expect because everyone's going to be different. But stepping up the webpage, stepping up the advertisement, stepping up the organization, I think that's great. And that's no shade on anybody else. I think we're at the beginning of an evolution of mega events, which we have to do because it's getting too big and too popular and too frequent in America, to not have them that way. And I think you're making good steps towards that. So even though I don't get to go to this one, I didn't get to go to the mega. I've heard so many people talking about these and I've seen the organization on it. I really think y'all are pushing that envelope to be able to improve what the standard of megas are going to be like. And that's exciting for us because we've been all kinds of involved in them. And we've had the arguments that happen behind the scenes. And we've wanted to quit geocaching after working megas and all this other stuff,
Yep.
And I think y'all are taking the approach that again, like we said, simple to the public, but extremely complex, but well-oiled behind the scenes. And I love that that's where we're going with megas. And I hope you continue to do these, maybe 3 a year, 2 a year if you want to, but to really get this standard set so everybody else is kind of able to learn from what you're doing and move forward and do this. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm still mad that I don't get to go. Christy's over here right behind the thing, and she's like, I want to go to this. I told her she could skip the cruise, but she won't do that. So,
no, she can't skip the cruise.
I'll turn it over to John, but I just want to give you a little time to think about your clip that John's going to pull. But John, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, number one, Mark. I mean, again, congratulations to you and your team on putting together an awesome Giga event.
Mm-hmm.
Giga, no quotes. It happened. It was awesome. It was incredible. I had so much fun. It was so much a blast. I can't wait to come back to Morgantown.
Yes.
I'm just bummed. I mean, don't get me wrong. Going on a cruise with these guys and over 120 of our geocaching friends is going to be awesome.
Oh yeah.
No doubt about it. But I'm just man, it's crazy that two awesome things at the same time. And I'm looking forward to next year, on here. I got some dates in my mind. I actually guys before the show, like I started to like put some things in my 2027 calendar tentatively. And I'm like,
nice.
Cachemore, I think, is the first thing I put in my 2027 calendar, crossing my fingers. One of the dates I think it will be the date on that one. So
You're hoping.
yeah, so crossing my fingers on that one. But yeah, Mark, again, congratulations to everything you've done. You guys have really shown that you do next level geocaching events on here, and I am psyched for when I can attend this event. And I encourage everybody who's interested to log their will attend on this one to make sure that they get the latest information on Cachemore. Because it just seems like on this one, this is like one of those events you want to log your will attend, you want to get your information, you want to get your package, you want to start getting those hotels in, you just want to line yourselves up for a good time. And I love the collaborative and cooperative aspect to this. I mean, to me, that is something so cool and so unique, and something that is so welcoming for geocachers to come to an event like that, to be part of a community. So I could probably talk again about like probably for another 20 minutes why I think this is awesome. And not just because it has amazing pickle pizza nearby, but that is a bonus.
That
just
is
saying on that
we
one.
ate good pizza in Morgantown. We really did.
Yes. Gary and I ate pizza, I think, almost every day, in fact. Yeah.
We did. In fact, John found some at a gas station. So he really ate gas station
pizza. It was gas station pizza. I've never had, Gary. I'm like, I gotta grab it,
Wait. Are you saying you never had gas station pizza, or never from that gas station?
From that gas station.
Okay. I want to say, I don't believe that's true at all.
Yeah. No, thank you for clarifying. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Mark, you get to give the last word, my friend. Oh, did we lose Mark?
Perfect. My internet looks like it might be cutting in and out. Can you hear me all right?
Yep. Yeah, we
I
heard
got
you.
you now.
Yep, you get to wrap up tonight.
Hello?
Go for it, buddy. Oh no.
Oh
okay.
no. This would be a terrible
So
clip.
I guess what I'd say is,
I would say that too.
it's like my internet. We're good now?
Try again.
Hello?
All right, try now.
Try again. Oh no.
Okay.
No. we're losing Mark.
What I'd say about
Oh no.
what I'd say about geocaching megas is that really evolve on the traditional geocaching experience.
Yep.
Oh no.
Are we good?
No, you keep locking up. Oh my gosh.
No.
We may have to record something after the show to get put out there.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Mark, you could try to mute your video, man, and see if your audio
Yeah,
goes
if you want to
through
just do the
smooth.
audio, we can. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
Can
ahead.
you hear me all right?
Yes. Go for it.
Okay. So geocaching mega events are really a unique way to evolve on the traditional style of geocaching because they are time limited. So you can do things within a set weekend with a big group of people that you can't do in the day-to-day of your normal geocaching. So that's really what we're trying to do with Cachemore. We're trying to take the average geocacher and put them into this immersive weekend-long story where the caches that you find actually contribute to clues and lead to a bigger aha, and everyone around you is working towards the same common goal that can only be done during that weekend.
Yeah, that is perfect. Yeah, absolutely. And Mark, keep us up to date as we move forward, and let us know. We can obviously, give updates and announcements and breaking news and everything else. Keep us in mind for any bean spillage. We're always ready for that to occur on the Geocache Talk Network. If you need to, I'm sure you'll get a chance to be on maybe Puzzle Talk as we get closer to the event.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a Challenge Talk. You never know. Maybe a Gadget Talk. You never know. We got all the shows, and encourage everyone to also go check out all of our other shows as well. So All right. Well, it was awesome. There you go. Oh, yes, John.
Yeah, and speaking of Gadget Talk, Gary, so Chad and I are going to do Gadget Talk on Tuesday, January 20th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're doing 3D printing for geocaching 101 because so many people, we covered 3D printing years ago. Chad covered it, and people have said, we want to know what's new in geocaching and 3D printing. So if I'm just getting into it now, or I'm considering, if we can kind of start with the basics, build up that knowledge, let us know some cool things that we can do. So Chad and I are going to cover that. It's going to be an awesome show. So tune in for that one.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks again. And Mark, thank you, my friend, for doing this event and for being on with us tonight. And we'll talk to you guys down the road. Thanks for tonight. Good night, everybody.
Okay, take care, guys.
May your finds be many and your DNFs be few. May the terrain and difficulty both be less than 2. And whatever it is you're looking for, may it find its way to you. And may we all meet again.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.